society and your communist government. We hate you all, and we are ready for war. We will always speak up and expose the corruption, the authoritarianism, the tyranny, and the hate. Truth dispels lies, as light dispels darkness. You're listening to Covert Radio.
How you guys doing? This is Covert Radio on February the 1st, 2022. Really is hard to believe it's already February 1st. I still have my Christmas tree up. Got my decorations up, show. But tomorrow's Groundhog's Day, and we'll go from there. But we're still gonna have a bunch of winter left. I love winter. I love snow. I love this time of year. I felt ripped off the last couple years because we really didn't have any snow. And but this year we got a lot of snow, and it's beyond cold. There's just no real even ground here, but. If you see my dad, my dad used to, I don't know. It's just so cliche. You think your parents are weirdos and they're like, why would you do but then you get older and it starts really making sense. It's actually sad that nobody tries to explain to younger kids that this is literally going to be how you are when you get older. I lost my dad not too long ago, and it's just, going through his old stuff and everything. And he used to write down the oddest things. Like he'd go into, I don't even want to get into this, but he'd go into phases. Like he'd keep track of the weather today was, and he'd write it down. And I think it was just because he was bored or he wanted to, keep his mind busy doing something because, he didn't really have any hobbies or anything. And TV will destroy your mind. So, but he'd write down the weather today was this, he'd do this for a whole year on a calendar and stuff. And one thing I personally have been keeping track of the last 5 years, well, maybe longer, 5, 6, 7 years is, when the last time it snows in this area. And it snows all the way up until April. So, rather Punxsutawney Phil sees his shadow or not, it doesn't matter because consistently we still get snow all the way through February, all the way through March, and even into April. And we normally get a pretty bad storm in April at some. It don't last long. It melts within a few days, but we've been known to get 8, 10, 12 inches in April. And every April it's snowing. But anyway, this is Covert Radio. What you're looking at on the screen is my Rumble account. I'm asking you please to subscribe to Covert Radio on Rumble. That's where the majority of my content is going to be going. I am going to put this one on YouTube, though, because I've consulted my lawyers and my Newspeak dictionary, and I've watched 1984 9 times to make sure I'm in no violation of Newspeak or nothing that the party or Big Brother would seem unfavorable that I may say in this video. I just have a couple bullet points of stuff I want to go over. I will definitely self-censor myself. I will definitely not say truly what I want to say because I do want to put this on YouTube because I will utilize YouTube as much as possible until, they delete my channel and that's it. But please subscribe to Rumble. That's where, again, you can see there's 2 videos on here right now that is not going to be on YouTube. If you want to take a listen here, this is the 4 reasons Covert Radio was censored and had videos removed from YouTube. Now, these aren't the actual videos. This is just a montage of the topics and the examples of things that I was talking about. It's very interesting. And just wait till I get to upload those videos to Rumble here. You guys will have a treat there. And then I just did this the other day. There's all this upheaval now. The media is gushing over Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Again, pushing 80 years old. Had hits about 40, 50, 60 years ago. And all of a sudden, they're getting front page news. And David Grohl, who was cool in 95, like 20-some years ago. I mean, these people think that they're going to threaten somebody like Joe Rogan. The last Foo Fighters album sold like 70,000 units. Joe Rogan gets 11 million views per podcast. So, but they're forcing his back against the wall, and it is cancel culture, and it's communist intolerance, and, you're going to do what we tell you to do. You like money, huh? You like our money? You like our pieces of paper? You're going to do what we tell you to do, right, Joe Rogan? Right. But I do believe there is a Joe Rogan derangement syndrome. That's pretty evident. Whatever the guy says, people can find an issue with it. Again, what happened to free speech? What happened to freedom of the press? It doesn't exist in a communist society. I've been talking about this for 5 years. You probably thought I was crazy when I continuously talked about the communists are trying to take over. Now you're seeing it in real time. I'm feeling it in real time because I am being censored by communists. I am not allowed to speak freely, even though YouTube is an American company who benefits from American tax subsidies, who hides under American corporate law and the actual legal system, but they only give money to Democrats and they silence truth. They silence reality. Communist censorship is protecting you from reality. So those are 2 videos you're only going to hear on Rumble. The link for the Covert Radio Rumble channel is going to be down into the description. Also, I'm going to link my YouTube account. YouTube is something I have not used in about 6 years. And even at that, I have only put 1 or 2 tweets up. Again, I saw where the censorship was going. I said to myself, why would I start, building and really see, because there's the other side of this too, which I don't want to get into this, but, I had this discussion with my wife and we were talking about, like, I don't know. Here's the bottom line. Again, I have a show coming up called Mother Earth, Motherboard. Mother Earth created by God, the designer, the creator, the architect. Motherboard created by the controllers, by Satanists. They want us to live in motherboard. That is what Meta is. That's why Facebook has moved their whole entire operation into the metaverse. And that's where they want us all to live, with virtual reality goggles on. Our eyes are God's virtual reality, but they need us to hide them and put on their virtual reality. And they want us to live in VR. I talked extensively about this in this upcoming video, and I mentioned it here and there, but me and my wife were talking about something, and she said something about, I don't put that stuff. I'm like, you have no idea. There's a whole you that lives on the internet. You have a whole avatar. I never created an avatar. Listen to me. You've uploaded pictures to yourself. There's pictures of you with other people. You have Instagram. You have all this stuff. Believe me, these bots know what you look like. They've created your own avatar. So if you go to choose an avatar, there's going to be one based off of information you have given them. That's the new gold. That is what the big currency is data. Metadata, information, data, metadata. They want to know what you eat, what you buy, where you sleep, what you wear, what you think, how you talk, how you dress, how you style your hair, what your nails look like. If you have a speech impediment, do you have good teeth? This is all virtual. It's all being bled out into the metaverse. So you may think to yourself, I don't care about it. But see, you don't understand the amount of data you've already given. Back to my story at Christmas time with buying a laptop from Walmart, and they wouldn't give me they didn't want to give me the price that I could buy it for on Walmart.com, and I'm holding it in my hand at the store. Well, you can get it shipped here. It's right here. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but and at the end of the day, I explained that the reason they're doing this is because they want everybody to use the internet. They want you to purchase from the internet. So I said to myself, it makes perfect sense because now, look at the Toys R Us, look at all the malls, look at everything has crumbled and is crumbling. And these prison Walmart camps are going to be empty as well, or they're just going to service online purchases with 5 or 10 humans controlling all the bots. I have another video coming up about that. That's going to be a great video. I'm going to blow your mind with the data in that video. But yeah, everything's online. Everything back to Twitter. That's that's another reason why I never cared to use it, because I'm not going to let these people that deeply inside of my mind. But at this point, I know there are some people saying, things I say, nobody thinks how you think. Nobody thinks how I think. And that's what censorship is controlling thought. It's controlling thought by crushing speech. That's why I'm censored. It's not what I say. It's what I want you to think. I want to share my thoughts and how I look at things. Because I promise you, if the world looked at things the way I do, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. I truly believe that. And I truly believe the same for everybody that's hearing my voice, the core Covert Radio listeners. If we could project the way we think and feel out to the world, it'd be over. There'd be no war. There'd be no fights. There'd be no racism. There'd be no poverty. We would all help each other. You know what I've done every night for the past 2 weeks? I don't even have a cat, but I built a cat house that's insulated with a little light inside that heats it. And I built a little bed and everything, and I put it just out in the street near the alley. And every night I walk warm milk and a plate full of food over there. I don't even have any cats. But I care about the combless cats. I care about them. And I want them to be warm. I don't want them to die of starvation. I mean, if everybody cared like that, it'd be a totally different world. I don't eat meat. I challenge you to watch cows that have been locked up all winter, and the first time they get to run out into the field. Those videos are on YouTube. You'll cry. The cows literally skipping and hopping around. They're so happy to get out of the barn. And I double dare you to watch the documentaries about Purdue and all these big chicken processing farms and the contractors, the farmer contractors who have the contracts with companies like, Purdue and the big chicken processing plants. I dare you to watch that. You'll never eat chicken again. These chickens are so shot up with steroids and plumped up so fat that they can't even walk. They break their own legs. What do you think? You're going to go to Wendy's and buy a 4-pound piece of chicken breast on a sandwich for $5? Oh, what a good deal. God. Don't get off track. Okay, here we go. Looky, everybody. That's my Twitter. I'm going to leave the link in Twitter. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Subscribe to my Twitter. Boy, here we go. Subscribe to my Twitter. because I'm going to start using it a lot more. I've already made a couple tweets, like this one here. I said, Joe Rogan, the Bransman Sandra, Spotify, Exodus, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, and Dave Grohl, all dependent on David Geffen, Geffen Records. Coincidence? I highly suggest you take a look at that video. You know me. You know how I am. I connect the dots. And I'm going to show you, is it just a coincidence that all these people giving Joe Rogan an issue right now, all these people giving Spotify, threatening them, it's either Joe Rogan or my music. Is it just a coincidence that every single one of them, their entire financial dependency is on David Geffen and Geffen Records? While David Geffen is one of the richest media men in the world, worth over $10 billion. And he's a staunch, heavy financial promoter of the Democratic Party. And he raised millions and millions and millions of dollars for Barack Obama, who some are saying, including the speaker, what's her name? Little Orphan Annie, the one that does all the speaking for the president every day, the press conferences, PSAC, or whatever. She even said, she had a Freudian slip the other day talking about, and I've been working for President Biden, but there is a theory out there that President Obama right now actually is the de facto president. Because we all know it isn't this guy, which is about what this video is about right here. Here's another tweet from Covert Radio recently. Joe Rogan, derangement syndrome. It's maddening that the communist media is gushing over these narcissistic, low fame, no names, threatening to leave Spotify. Hashtag who cares? Who cares, Neil Young? Who cares? Seriously. But go ahead, subscribe to Rumble, and subscribe to Covert Radio. I'm going to try something new. We're at 17 minutes. This is part 1 of this video. I'm going to end it here. If you're interested in part 2, I'm going to link it to the end. It should be on the screen right now, hopefully, if I can figure out how to do that. You can listen to this whole show in its entirety on Rumble. And I'll link this show on the video in the description below. But this is part 1. I didn't even get into the topic yet, but here's the title of this video. Biden will not finish out his term due to a false flag. This is a question I'm asking. There is speculation. Biden will not finish out his term, and my opinion is it's going to be due to a false flag. Has it been planned all along? Covert Radio has some things you really need to see that I guarantee you have not seen yet. And I'm going to show you all the other Freudian slips of Biden calling Kamala Harris President Harris, which you may have seen that, but you know how many times this has happened? But again, this is part 1 of just probably an hour-long total show, but I just want to break it up. Maybe track some new listeners. But, even though it's not going to be shared by YouTube, possibly maybe you could share this with somebody and maybe something they might be interested in. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this one here. And then we're going to pick right back up with part 2, or click on the screen there if you want to listen to part 2. You guys take care. Have a great day.